Hello and welcome, I'm Ryan, and to start off this video we are beginning of qualifying lap for another round of FRL, this time at Hungary. And for the first real time we've got strict corner cutting, so we need to watch out and don't get any penalties. So finishing off my first run of the session, I went first, got the fastest lap time and won 15.7, and it's really close between us three, BK and Alex, within the 10th top 3. So I went out for another run, but this time at turn 4 I made a mistake and didn't go on the entry curb good enough. And the curb is really tricky. You need to go completely over it, or just don't take it if you don't want to spin. So really difficult to take the curb, but I have practiced and it shouldn't go wrong for the last run. I went out quite late, with 2 minutes to go, but now the track is pretty much at its best, so it should work, hopefully. So 10 seconds in the session to go when I cross the line. Enough time, and I kept it in the hot lap mode for the first 2 straights. I don't know why. But I didn't get a bad run through turn 1 and 2, so that's good. I improved my lap time with almost 69 thousandths of a second on my previous best, and Alex goes provisional pole with a 1:15.193. He said in the party, I was together in a party with him and BK, he said a 1:15.1, so I thought it was a low one, so I had to push. Made a little mistake at the end of the second sector, but here I had a good run through that fast right-hander, and I was on the limit the whole lap. There are 2 corners to go. Multiple corner goes well. I'm almost 5/10 up near last corner. This is crucial. Putting it not into overtake. We just ran out of ERS, but not too early, and that's pole position for this race. Only 9 thousandths of a second faster than Alex, and it was really close. Like, it was just an identical lap time. So this is my first pole of the season, and hopefully not the last one. And yeah, it was. I was really happy with it. I was so relieved that I had managed to put just a better lap in than Alex, and I was surprised that I was faster in that lap, because yeah, it was just so close. So waiting for the lights to go on as Sam leaves the session. He had disconnected 3 times in this race, but we don't pay attention to that. We got a good start out of the line there. Gotta keep the inside closed and defending from Alex. He knows that it's not going to work from the outside, so he may try to come back, but he doesn't. BK lost a place to Yarna there, so it's McLaren 2-3 right now, and but I'm still in the lead, so that's what counts. Yeah, I missed the apex of turn 4, just leaving a little bit of time on the table there, just to keep it safe and don't take any risks, because that curb makes you spin very often if you don't take it right. And it's on strict corner cutting, so gotta watch out and don't get any penalties, because that's not what you want, of course. 6/10 is the gap now at the end of sector 2. It's going well in the first lap, and there hasn't been any crashes really. not any big crashes, I say. So that's good. No safety cars, and yeah. Now gotta watch out for Alex as he has the slipstream, but he isn't really close, so no big worries there. On to lap 4 then. At the end of sector 1, and as you can see, Sam again left the session here. A bit of a slide into 4, but not a problem there as we keep going on. So, and the goal is to manage ERS and fuel well. I have, as always, got loads of fuel in, so it shouldn't be a big problem to manage that. And the engine temps are also fine at this moment, so that's nice. But Alex is closing in now a little bit. He's going to have DRS for about a third lap straight. Second lap actually. It's lap 4 now, lap 5 now. He has DRS, and I had a little bit of a slide out of turn of the last corner. So he's going to try and attack around the outside. He tries to tuck back in the slipstream here because outside wasn't going to work. I lock up just a little bit into turn 2, but I should have it covered, and I have. And I think at this point of the race, I think it was lap 4 or something, I got 2 warnings already. Just as Alex, he also has 2 warnings. So we should watch out and not run wide. So I'm going to pit this lap, Jeff says, and that sort of distracted me. I just braked a little bit too late, and that's not what I wanted, because now I'm not behind Alex, and as you can see, I just keep it a none. I don't know why, but I just lost my focus because of that mistake here. A little bit of slide again, and I just didn't manage ERS in this lap, and that is going to cost me a little bit too much time there. As you can see, Alex pulls away. It's the in lap, of course. You need to push as hard as you can, pull the last pace out of the tires. 1.2 seconds now, and yeah, it was not really smart of me of doing that, not managing ERS and fuel. So we're going to pull in the pits, otherwise I'm going to lose more time to Alex and maybe even BK behind. I got a reasonable entry though, no problems with that, with speeding in the pit lane. And we don't get held up in the pits, so that's good. It's really unfortunate that I didn't really pay attention in the in-lap of managing ERS, and I don't know why I didn't do that. And I'm really disappointed in myself for doing that. So I gotta close the gap now to Alex as Sam as I just rejoined in front of Sam. But fortunately for us, we don't end up behind him. BK does, so he's going to lose a little bit of time. Now, the gap to Alex is a bit above 2 seconds. F1 hub, Harry, he made a mistake, probably on turn 4, so unfortunate for him. Here I set temporarily the fast lap at that moment. 1.9 seconds is the gap now. But I'm really disappointed for making that mistake and getting a little bit distracted by Jeff. Here 1.8 seconds, he's attacking Evan right now. As BK says fast lap, he's going to try and close his gap to me. And it's just going to be quite interesting. So, as I said, I I got distracted, and I always get a little bit distracted sometimes. Well, not always. Sometimes I get a little bit distracted, and that causes me to make just a little mistake, and that's something to work on, just to keep the focus, even though someone says something to you. So 2.4 seconds is the gap now, and I gotta close that down. We still got enough laps to go then, 25 laps, something about that, yeah, 24 and a half, yeah, doesn't really matter. So but the point is, we got enough laps to go. 2.5 is enough, and we can't afford to lose time anymore if we want to win this race. So now I am managing the ERS better than the in-lap, of course. Hot lap mode and into overtake just too close in. I'm asking Jeff if Alex has got a penalty. I don't care about his tires or lap time and stuff. I just want to know if he's got a penalty or not, because I think that I got a penalty at this point of the race. I don't know. Not yet, I guess. But if Alex got a penalty, I should keep the gap within 3 seconds to still have a chance of winning this race if I can't close in. But still, I'm trying. 2.1 is now, so it went from 1.8 or 1.7, it was even a little bit lower, to 2.6, and then now 2.1. So I am closing in a little bit. Had I maintained the pace of the lap before, then it would have been a much smaller gap, and I would have had DRS probably. But that isn't the case, so I still got to push on. And I did manage to close in a little bit in this lap, I think. But later on, that just that gap increased because of a little mistake by me, and it just wouldn't get smaller, the gap. And that sucks, obviously. So lap 19 now. This is Alex in lap. As you can see, it's 2.2 seconds still, and I haven't made any progress because of some little mistakes, not big mistakes like slide and stuff, but just leaving a bit of time on the table in some corners. And that's really unfortunate, because I have the pace to close in on Alex, but I just could not make it stick. And it also isn't only because of the things I do. I mean, Alex is driving a really good race at this moment, and that's something you gotta remember. So this is my lap. I gotta manage some ERS and fuel to keep the pace up. I don't know why I stayed out one extra lap, because one lap older medium tires doesn't make so much difference if you're only doing 15 laps or so. But at that moment, I just didn't think of that. Now I am managing ERS much better though than in lap 6. That was just awful. 5.5 seconds is the gap now to BK, so he's not something to worry about at this moment. And yeah, I'm coming into the pits. So Alex sort of did another cut, and he's surely going to rejoin in front of me if he didn't make any mistakes in his outlap. And yeah, those one lap older mediums are not going to make any difference, I'm afraid.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on
So
the
I
exit.
come out
We'll receive a
of
penalty for dangerous
the
driving if you
pits
cross over into the track.
in P2 still. And now let's look what the gap is before turn 4. And yeah, fresh tires now, gotta push hard, but yeah, Alex has like the same life in his tires, so he surely will be able to pull as much pace as as me. So the gap was 3.7 seconds, now it's 3.9, I dropped it a little bit. It's 11 laps later now, 10 laps later, I mean. But at this point I thought, yeah, it isn't going to be a win anymore. And I started talking to BK at this moment. I don't know about what, but I started talking to him. I was just just doing my own thing. But I went on the entry curb just a little bit, and that messed up my whole run through that corner. I tried to do a little bit of a deja vu there, a little bit of a slide. Initial D intensifies, but unfortunately I went into the wall. So it wasn't really bad, the situation, but now it surely is. It's just ridiculously bad. I have got a little bit of damage as well, so I'm going to lose even more pace in this last 4 laps. And yeah, it's just really disappointing. I shouldn't have made that mistake, of course, and that really put me off. So closing the gap to BK isn't going to work anymore. 3.4 it is already, it was 2.9 at the finish line. I just have got damage and there's nothing you can't do anything about it. And now I gotta maintain the gap to Sam behind, who has disconnected 3 times already. He has had some big problems in this season with his internet connection, and that's really unfortunate for him. But he's now, what isn't unfortunate for him is that he managed to go from 13th off the grid to P4 right now, which is potentially going to be a P3 if I make a little mistake, or if I just lose a lot of pace because of my damage. So it's lap 35 now. The gap has surely decreased and Sam is right behind me. And over the line we go of sector 2. And the game says he's 5.6 seconds behind, so I really was I was really confused at that moment of the race, because the game said he was 5 seconds behind while he was right behind me. So the only thing I could hope was that he got a penalty as well, and I just tried to keep him by. I'm asking Jeff, but Jeff doesn't say he's got a penalty. He tries to overtake me, but he immediately tries to close the door. He's still right beside me. Now he has overtaken me, and nothing I could do. But even if I kept it in front of him, he would still be in P3 because of my penalty. So in the end, it is P4 because of my stupid mistake, and yeah, that's just really disappointing. But I'm not going to look back anymore. I need to look forward, and hopefully I can get good results in the next few races. 4 races to go in the season. Next one's in Canada, and I'm very well prepared for that one. So it should be okay, hopefully. Until then, goodbye.